I, 36 years old, have been married for 12 years to MG wife, 33 years old. We have a best friend relationship where we have always been really close. We also have been through a lot together. We have 3 kids. A little context is she was sexually abused by her stepdad. About 7 years ago, she started to go to counseling for that and started to give me more details about it. She's also had a struggle with watching P*RN since she was really young. Her counselor has talked to her about this as how she coped with what happened to her. Long story short, for the past 5 years or so she has been trying to stop watching it. Once she got over the porn, she got into erotica literature. And then about a year ago, she told me she felt consumed by it and asked me to put parental controls on her phone so she doesn't. I did not enforce this. I'm trying to be supportive of her journey. If she didn't feel bad, I wouldn't think much about it, but she said it sends her into a shame/depression spiral, and so she doesn't like it. About 2 years ago, I went to counseling with her because she felt like she wanted more from our sex life. I'm fairly routine/quick and have really tried to be better. But this is basically a reoccurring theme where she feels like she has a higher sex drive than me. I don't think it's a higher sex drive, to be honest. I think it's actually that I'm fine doing the same thing every time. Anyways, all this is the backdrop. Last week, we got a letter in the mail about our dental insurance needing renewed. It was in her email, and she asked me to renew it. I opened her email in the computer. We share one and use separate Chrome profiles. I saw a bunch of stuff in her email that was pretty shocking. I didn't want to make her feel bad. She has also been in a depression slump, so I realized that once again there was a correlation. The next day, while kids were at school, we went on a walk, and I tried to bring up the topic of how she was doing with it all and if that played a role in her mood. She was very resistant to talking, so I didn't push. A few days later, we were going to have sex while the kids were in school. I was waiting for a break in work meetings, and she went upstairs. When I went up, I realized she was listening to something sexual. Basically, she was trying to get herself ready. It kind of blew up because I felt disrespected. We argued a bit. I asked if there was anything else I needed to know about, and she said no. I then asked if I could see her phone, and she immediately opened it and started deleting something. I asked what it was and figured out she had subscribed to some Patreon accounts that were males moaning and doing stuff for subscribers. We decided I should join her at her next counseling appointment tomorrow and get a perspective on this. The more we talked, she was saying her needs weren't being met by me, and then she said she's been uncomfortable having sex with me for 6 months, but she doesn't know why. Well, today I was homesick and she was out of the house. I had a suspicion there was more she wasn't sharing. So I logged into her TikTok account. She used to spend hours on it. Her profile was basically discreet/not revealing her true identity, and she was only following strangers, no actual people we know. I went into messages, and there were only a few, assumed the rest were deleted. And she had reached out to several guys to sext. One was while she was on a girls' trip in February, and she said, "I would have used a hookup app, but that seems like too much effort, so trying to find someone here who's in the same mood as me." I stewed on what to do for 3 hours. I know it was an invasion of privacy, but I also just feel like there's a pattern here, and I'm not sure how far it goes. To me, texting/messaging a real person is cheating. PRN, I can say I've never felt it was, just her own struggle. Now I am freaked out about how far this goes. She asked me later today if I logged into her TikTok. My login sent her an email. I told her what I found, and she basically shut down. She let me look at her phone, and I didn't find anything else, but I feel like she could have deleted it. She started to get defensive and say it's partly my fault because our sex life hasn't been good enough for her. How can I trust her again? How do we move beyond this? TLDR, caught wife texting other guys sexually. What do I do now?